Okay, hey everyone, welcome to part 2 of, I'm calling this our Twilight Quick Draw Oracle reading. It's just meant to be kind of like a fun evening time, moody kind of vibe check reading. We're going through all the signs, Aries through Pisces. Check out part 1 for Aries through Libra. This part 2 will be Scorpio through Pisces. So this is your Twilight quick draw. Oh my gosh. This week, cards have been flying everywhere. All right, let's get going for Scorpio. Guides, angels, ancestors, loving energy of the universe. What do you have to share with Scorpio? Okay, so Scorpio, the cards are really flying for you. So we pulled this, Oracle. Wait for important information. This particular reading is meant to be just a 1-card pull. But I take jumpers, and this was the other card that jumped out, Scorpio. Elder, healing through the lineage. So Scorpio, these 2 cards together, I feel like your guides are saying that this is a moment where you are in process, maybe midstream, on a project or a new development, something that you're working towards, and there's additional sort of information or details that you're waiting to receive. And Scorpio, you're sort of doing a balancing act between really staying steady in your own grounded energy and allowing the sort of greater, higher intelligence, the creative forces of the universe to work in your favor and bring about each additional piece of detail and facts and findings to help inform this thing that you're working on. You're doing a great job at sitting sort of rooted in that energy. And you're also sort of warding off the parts of yourself where it's like your mind wants to get to work and that human brain starts to try to get busy and create static and maybe even like kind of cause you to have moments where for just a glimpse you might be inclined to doubt yourself, but you're balancing that energy out. You're staying firmly rooted and centered primarily in that grounded energy, and you're allowing yourself to receive that information from the universe that's being brought to you through your guides in really channeled ways. This other card that popped out, Elder, healing through the lineage. You know, Scorpio, you may be at this point in time going about your life in a way that looks completely different from those in your family, or going about your life in ways that are completely different than how, other relatives or community members or friends or people in your circle may operate, both now and historically. So maybe you're sort of carving a new path, and in doing so, you're really tending to your higher self. You're leaning into elements of wisdom, sources of wisdom in your life to do this, to really reshape and define for yourself the kind of life that you want to live and the kind of spiritual practices that you are committing yourself to, and really the person that you're becoming. It's really the feeling I get is sort of you are bringing to the forefront your soul in your life. You're leading from your soul And that's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. So Scorpio, this is all saying that you're doing what you need to do to reach your desired outcomes. You have elders available to you, whether these are people in your community, your family, mentors, teachers, or even elders and ancestors in non-physical form, who have things to offer you and ways to support you. And in this entire process, even in the most subtle moments or the most mundane, boring, everyday moments, your actions, your decisions to live your life in this way really are, it's creating shifts, energetic shifts through your DNA, through your bloodline, through timelines, and you're impacting and helping and healing many more people, many more lives than you realize. Okay, Scorpio, I hope that helps. All right. Okay, let's move on to Sagittarius. Sag, what do we want to bring forward from your guides, from your loving ancestors? They're telling me to slow down as I shuffle. What does the universe have? What does Spirit have to reveal to you at this particular moment? Again, these readings are timeless. It finds you when it's meant to find you. Okay, Sag. So Sag, we pulled Autumn. Release the old and reset. I think these cards are easier to read once I lay them down. So Sag, you can see that. Release the old and rest. I said reset, rest. So Sag, I feel like what's coming through in this card is that even though, where are we now? Sort of at the end of spring, beginning of summer, and we all have ideas about what gets underway in summer and what our plans are and the things that we want to do. People tend to get really active in summer. Sag, this may be a season for your rest and restoration. This card's telling us that you've been through a lot in this last year. You'll notice here the card's broken into 4 quadrants. You have moon symbols on either side, left and right, of the raven or the crow in the middle of this picture. And then you have fall leaves. Again, number 4 is coming through. So Sag, I think there's something in here that's encouraging you to take a beat. It's interesting because as I was transitioning from Scorpio to you, I was shuffling the cards, and midway I was like, wait, I need to slow down. So as I was shuffling, I started to shuffle in more sort of a slow motion speed. So that energy of really slowing down and letting go of the things that are no longer serving you. Maybe these are past experiences. Maybe these are memories. Maybe this is energy that is no longer supporting you. I don't know if you've been through maybe some personal relationships, whether they're friendships or a romantic relationship or even family. But there's something here that's asking for your closure and asking to sort of create culmination. And at the end of that culmination, you are meant to sort of recoup all of the either stress or worry or hardship, the strain that experience has been for you, you're meant to rest truly at this point in time. And you know, I'm the kind of person that will, when I rest, it looks like hibernation. Like I like to kind of hunker down in my home and just be very comforting to myself. That's my way of caring for myself. And so maybe there's certain things you can do, Sag, that you know bring you comfort, healthy comfort, and whatever else you can do to kind of bring about that just sense of serenity and peace and calm, to really allow yourself to get rid of what has already sort of had its season, and now needs to sort of be shed or fall away, so that you can reset and recalibrate yourself, recalibrate your energy, and prepare for what's to come, because there's so much left for you, you know, to encounter at this point in time. There's so much around the corner, but it really does require you to take this time to like refuel. Somebody told me recently, you know, it's okay to take time to refill your cup. It's that energy of like taking time to fill your cup so that you're able to give and be and love and care from a place of overflow, right? Because you already have all that you need to be fulfilled in yourself. And so once your cup is full, then you can give to others and support others in the ways that you really desire. Sag, I hope this helps. Okay, on to Capricorn. Capricorn, what energy do the guides, your angels, your loving ancestors, the creative forces of the universe want to bring forward to you? Capricorn. These cards are kind of sticking, Capricorn, so I'm going to give it another couple shuffles. Let's do 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, Capricorn. We have Lady. Enjoy growth and reap rewards. I don't know if you can see that. So Capricorn, this feels like was it Virgo that we did that had a similar kind of vibe? Capricorn, you have been putting in the work. You've been very busy this year. For the last several months, you've been making big strides, big progress, putting forward a lot of energy, but not in a labor way, not in like a difficult, overexerting yourself sort of like grind kind of way. This has been you steady, building, growing, nurturing the thing that you are currently really inspired by. There's something in your life that's driving you, that's bringing you a lot of joy and excitement. And just by virtue of your attention to this thing, and your attention is coming from a place of true love and curiosity and interest, that purity of intention has given you so much energy that's really fueled the growth and development of whatever this is that you're working on, whether it's a project, a business, it might be a relationship, but this is really the moment where you are taking a step back and you're like, wait, I did all that? Wait, this has all happened this fast? This is the energy of really like quick harvest Capricorn. This is like, you know, it was just last season that you planted these seeds, but they're already bearing fruit for you, which is that, you know, additional indication, confirmation that the universe gives us when things really just start to come together and bear rewards for you. It's just the universe affirming, like, yes, you are in your flow state. You are doing what you love doing. And when you love doing what you love doing, it makes us love supporting you in doing that thing. And so we will give you more love and more and more and more of the things that you are actively like casting into the quantum field, into your vortex, as Abraham Hicks calls it. So Capricorn, this is like a moment of recognition of your incredible momentum and the beautiful, bountiful gifts and rewards that have already started to come through. And Capricorn, this is just the beginning. This is just sort of the first phase of harvest, but you have so much more that is unfolding for you in the very near future and long term. So stay the course. This is beautiful. I hope this helps. Okay. Aquarius. What do we have for Aquarius? We're asking for spirit guides, loving ancestors, angels and archangels, and the loving creative forces of the universe, also known as spirit. What do you have for Aquarius? Ooh, Aquarius. So you pulled Air Guardian. Shift your perspective. You know, Aquarius, this card looks like you. When I think of Aquarians, I'm just gonna admit that for the longest, I associated Aquarius with aqua, right? Like water. And so there's an element of the Aquarius nature that I imagine like a water goddess, even though you are an air sign. So this depiction to me looks actually like a really beautiful, like blending of sort of the essence of water made in air form. This fluid sort of movement that's incredibly like intuitive and intelligent and creative. So this Air Guardian card, shift your perception. So Aquarius, the guides are saying here that there's more available to you than what immediately meets your eye. So maybe there's a situation or a person that you've been evaluating this week, something that you're trying to understand better, maybe before you make a decision, or maybe before you commit to giving this person or this thing more of your time. You're trying to understand it better. But what guides are saying is that beyond your initial impression, there's something more here that wants to be revealed to you. So how can you position yourself to see and understand this thing differently? And so the energy of this card for me, again, just intuitively, I feel there's air and water here. And so if you can imagine air being that which exists above the earth, and so there's this element of height and sort of upward, sort of directional location of air. And so if that's meant to give us guidance in terms of ways that you might consider changing your perception, maybe there's a way to see this person or the situation from a bird's eye view, right? From a higher point of view, whether that's, you know, to look at the bigger picture kind of thing, or to go to your higher self and understand what's being presented to you from that vantage point. Or if we're thinking about water and the location of water being bound to the earth and below air, directionally, that is, from the bottom. Can you look at this situation from the beginning? Can you go to the bottom and try to start there to understand and explore what might be happening or who this person is? And water, again, we know is emotion. Water is intuition. So lean into that part of yourself compared to air, right? Which is like mental and intellectual. So marrying both the intellect and your emotional sort of senses and wisdom will support you in seeing this situation or this person for all that it is, giving you a much better idea of the truth of this opportunity. Okay, Aquarius, I hope that helps. Okay, now on to Pisces. We're going to round it out with Pisces. Okay, Pisces. Okay, so spirit guides, loving ancestors, angels and guardian angels. Spirit, what do we have for Pisces? What do we have to be revealed to Pisces? Okay, so Pisces, you pulled the Earth Mother card, which I think Virgo pulled too. Feel loved and comforted. Pisces, I love this card. First of all, I love the art on this oracle card. Pisces, this is a moment for you to really, the energy I'm getting, it's not so much rest as it is to settle into a stillness. There's something that I think that we don't talk about a lot, which is the power of being still. I mean, we talk about the need to meditate or the need to incorporate these different types of practices, sort of spiritual practices into our lives, but truthfully, just being still is so powerful. One, when we're still, we have the ability to see so much more. We have the ability to be aware of and observe so much more, rather than when we're moving and we're active and we're moving rapidly. Stuff flies by, stuff passes you by. You don't catch everything. But when you're still, you have the ability to see all that surrounds you. And there's also something incredibly sort of life-giving about being still. I mean, one, it slows, it feels as though it's slowing life down so that you're able to savor every moment, every morsel of life. And it gives us so many other resources. Like when we're still, this is when others have time to catch up with us, right? It's when we can spend time with friends or family, is when we're still. And we can sit down and have a conversation, or we can sit and have a picnic together, or we can, gather over a meal. You know what I'm trying to say? Like the act of being deliberate in locating yourself somewhere for long enough with really no other objectives other than to share space and time with someone is such a special, special thing. And it's one of those, one of the ways that we enrich our lives the most. One, because we're able to be in deep connection with those around us, but also it does something tremendous for ourselves. Like, it really is restorative and fueling. And so this Earth Mother card says, feel loved and comforted. So this intention of being still and really looking at all of the gorgeous, like vibrant and glowing and growing things in our lives, we have the opportunity to acknowledge those things, to recognize how much we appreciate and love those things, right? We're sitting in gratitude and admiration and awe of these things. And there's tremendous joy and comfort that comes in having those moments of meditation. It's a type of meditation for you to perceive all of the love that's available in these different elements of your life, and then to in turn, from the heart space, give back yourself, give back that love. It's sort of an energetic exchange, right? A loving energetic exchange that comes from sitting still and absorbing all that life has to offer and has already produced and is continuing to produce in your life. Pisces, I love that for you. All right, that's going to wrap up our reading for this week. Stay tuned. Please, if you like this at all, leave a comment, like, subscribe. We're really open to hearing your feedback, and we're going to continue to try different things on this channel. And so I hope you'll stick with us. Thanks so much.